Hi, you're right. Today your title is Solving Equations with an Unknown on Both Sides. So today we're going to run through a few worked examples where I'm going to run through it. I'll do it silently, then talk through it, and then you can have a go at the your term one on your right. So it's called equations with an unknown on both sides because you can see from, if we're looking at a work example on the left now, we can see we've got an x on this side and an x on this side. So that's what we mean by an unknown. Another word would be a variable or just a letter on both sides. So our ultimate aim is we want to find out what x is equal to. That will be our last line of working. So I'll run through this one on the left, and then, like I said, I'll talk through it. Then you can do the your term one, pausing the video before you have a go at it. So first up. Okay, so you can see our answer is x equals 2. I could double check that's right by subbing it back into the left hand side first. So 4 times 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 6, which is 14. Sub it into the right hand side, so hopefully this will be 14 as well. 2 times 2 is 4, 10 is 14 as well. So I can see that that's definitely right. So I'll just run through this. I'll explain this rectangle in a second, but I'll run through each stage of my working now. So my first step, I subtracted 2x from both sides. So why have I decided to do that as my first step? Well, it's because if I take away 2x from both sides, then I know from simplifying like terms and collecting like terms that the 6 stays as it is. So the only thing that's going to be affected is this 4x. So take 4x, take away 2x, gets me this 2x here. But if I decided, and you could do it this way, if I decided, so the first thing to do is get all the x's onto one side. So all the x's either to the left hand side or the right hand side. I chose to do it to the left hand side here because if I took away 4x from both sides as my first step, so let's imagine my work, not in highlighter. Let's do the same question. Oops. But take away 4x from both sides. Then if I do 2x, take away 4x, I'm left with negative 2x, which isn't impossible to deal with, and I'd still get to the same answer, but I want to make my life easier, and I want to have a positive x coefficient in front of the x. Remember, coefficient is just the number in front of the x. So I can take away 4x from both sides, but it just makes my life a bit harder. So I'm going to avoid that as much as possible. But you would still get to the same answer if you did all the correct workings. So next off, this next step here, the next line, now should be things that we're comfortable with. It's stuff we were doing yesterday. We was doing stuff even harder than that yesterday. Or was it Monday? Whatever day. So then take away 6 from both sides because that's the inverse of adding 6. Divide by 2 because that's the inverse of multiplying by 2. And then I'm left with x equals 2, which I saw was my correct answer. The reason I've got this rectangle here is you might not get a question that simply just says solve this, solve for x. You might get, say, a rectangle that looks like this and say find what x is. So think about, why does this rectangle link into this question here? Well, it's because I know from a rectangle that this side is the same as this side. Equally for this your turn question, maybe I could have 4x minus 6 and I'll run out of space a bit, 2x plus 10, and it could say solve for x. Or find what x is. But today we're just going to focus on the skill of solving these equations. Right, pause the video, have a go at your turn, and then I'll run through it now. So mark your work in red pen once you've had a go at it. Be disciplined, actually have a go at it. Don't just watch me and copy me. So first step, I want to keep a positive x coefficient. So I'm going to take all my x's over to the left hand side. I'm going to get rid of it on the right hand side. Notice how I'm telling you what I'm doing at each stage. 2x minus 2x is just 0, so that's why I'm left with just 10 here. Now the only difference between the left hand side and the right hand side is that I've got minus x, so this time the inverse of that is to add 6. Then I'm left with 2x equals 16, divide by 2, and I get x equals 8. And I could double check that by subbing it back in and seeing that both those things, left hand side equals right hand side. Right, just going to run through, so make sure you've marked that in red pen. Just going to run through 1, 2, 3, 3 more examples and 3 more your turns. And then that'll be it for the lesson. So, worked example, I'll run through it, and then you can have a go at your turn. So don't be put off by having the number then equals x. I could easily just switch that around and say x equals 22, which is probably how I would say it normally. But you can just leave it as 22 equals x. Notice this time I took away 4x as my first step because that left me with a positive x coefficient here. The coefficient in front of it, remember, is a positive 1. But we don't write that in algebra, but we're left with 1x, because think 5x take away 4x, I must have 1x left, but we just say x in that case. Inverse of taking away 20 is adding 20, whoops. And then 20 add 2 is 22. Right, have a go at the one on the right, so pause the video, have a go at it, and I'll run through it now for you to mark in red pen. So notice that I've got negative 8 because there's it's take away 8, so that sign in front of it is attached to that number. I'm taking away 3x because that leaves me with positive x on the right hand side. Take away 4, so we need to be good on our negative numbers here. Divide by 4. We've got negative divide by positive, so that's a negative. So x equals negative 3. Or 3 minus 3 equals x. So let's just do a bit of reflecting, expecting, checking maybe. Reflecting on what was the difference between the example 1 and example 2. Well, on example 1, I brought all the x's onto the left hand side. In example 2, I took all my x's to the right hand side. So I was dealing with x on the right hand side in this case, and it was on the left hand side in this case. Right, make sure you've marked that, corrected anything that was that you didn't get right. Maybe note down why were you making a mistake if you were making a mistake. Okay, and then next question. So I included this question because I remember last year when we did a little bit of this, but probably only did 1 or 2 lessons on it, and we got a bit confused by it. Was because when there was just a 1x, so remember we don't write the 1, but it is 1x. I think we just got a bit confused by seeing that x on its own. So this time I'm taking away a 1x, one lot of x from both sides. If I do 2x, take away x, then I know I'm left with 1x, which is the 1x that I'm left with here. So 2x take away that 1x is just x. Then I'm left with something we should be comfortable with here. Take away 3 from both sides and you get x is equal to 2. Right, have a go at the one on the right hand side. Pause the video and then I'll go for it now. So you'll have to forgive my messy algebra x there. Oh yeah, that reminds me, we should all be doing algebra x at this point. I don't want to see. Think about why I don't want to see that. Remember, this x is a multiplication x, not an algebra x. So I don't want to. We all just need to get in the habit. So it's second nature to do an algebra x, like 2 reverse brackets. So this time I'm going to take away 1x from both sides. Take away 3. And then divide by 2. What's 2 divided by 2? Well, it's 1. Okay, make sure you've marked that, corrected anything that you need to. And if you've got any parts of this video where you're like, I'm not sure on that specific step, like, why is 2x take away x 1x, or why is 3x take away 1x 2x, then just email me your question and I can give a longer explanation as to why that's the case. Right, this final one then. So maybe just have a think about what's the difference from this last question or all the ones we've done previously to this question now. Okay, I'll run through it. So I've just finished there. We're giving you lots of possibilities of how you could have left your final answer. 6 over 4 is fine, which simplifies to 3 over 2, which is 1.5, or you could leave it as 1.5. So the difference, the reason I've included this one, and it's linked into what we were doing yesterday or Monday, can't quite remember, is that we've now got a negative x in there. So we've got a negative coefficient in front of our x. The coefficient here is -1. So to keep my x's positive, I'm going to move them all over to the left hand side. So add on an x to both sides, and then I'm left with this positive 4x here. I'll just for this final example, I'll just show you how you would still get the same answer no matter what you chose to do. Let's do it in blue. So I'll just do this same question again, but start it slightly differently to show you that even if you chose the wrong thing in making your x coefficient negative, you would still get to the same answer. So if I don't move all the x's to the left hand side, I've got to move them all to the right hand side. So let's get rid of it on this side by taking away 3x, which just leaves me with 2. Negative x, take away 3x, gets me negative 4x. So see why I prefer not to use negative x's if possible, because it just makes it harder than it needs to be. Take away 8 from both sides, and then 2 take away 8 is -6, which equals to -4x, because we've got a -4x here. Divide by -4, and we're left with x equals -6 over -4. Well, negative divided by a negative is a positive, so that's 6 over 4, which we saw is 3 over 2, or 1.5. So you can see that you still get to the same answer because you end with a negative over a negative instead of a positive over a positive, as in the first example we looked at. Right, have a go at the one on the right, and then I'll run through it now. So final question. Be really disciplined, or if I show you the first step, pause the video, have a go at it from there. You don't try and make it not just a copying exercise. So first thing I'm going to do, and you know what, I'll just put the arrows in because I know some of you in this class like to see them. And there's your final answer of x equals 6. We could just double check that. 20 minus 6 times 2 is 12, so that's equal to 6. 2 add 6 is 8. Did I say 6 there? 20 take away 12 is 8. So we can see we've got it right because it makes 8 does equal 8. Right, well done for all your hard work today. As I said, if you've got any questions, just let me know, and have a great rest of your day.